Thanks for joining me for this episode of Business and Legal Q&A Live. This is Understanding the Law Radio, your business success and legal information station, and I'm your host, Peter Lamont. Now today we've got a great question, and it comes from someone who owns a gym and is looking for advice as to how to stay motivated in their business. It's a great question, and hopefully we've got a great answer. Now, before we do get to the question, I want to thank today's sponsor. And today's show is sponsored by MD Supplies. MD Supplies is really your one-stop shop for everything medical supply. Absolutely, hands down. Their website, mdsupplies.com, has thousands of suppliers, products, choices, and it's super easy to use. Now, MD Supplies connects you directly to manufacturers for supplies and eliminates traditional distributors, dealers, and salespeople. And how do we hate salespeople, right? Their proprietary Direct Connect marketplace offers an average of 50% savings over traditional channels and allows you to pick and choose who you want to order supplies from, all through one single order. So check out mdsupplies.com for all of your medical needs, whether you are a doctor, a dentist, or if you just need medical supplies in your office. mdsupplies.com has everything you need at the cheapest prices possible. All right, so thanks to MD Supplies for sponsoring today's show. We appreciate it. Now let's get into that question. So here's the question. It's from Dave Jacobs out of Orlando, Florida, and he says, do you have any advice on how to keep myself motivated? I started a gym about 8 months ago. Things are a little slow, and I feel like I'm losing members to big-name health clubs. I don't even like going to work anymore. What can I do to motivate myself? Thanks. Okay. Dave, this is, first of all, very common. So it's important to understand you're not alone. And quite honestly, it doesn't matter if you've been in business for 8 months, like Dave, or 8 years. As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you have just got to deal with anxiety, stress. You're going to have ups and downs. Owning a business is a roller coaster, definitely not a vacation. Now, when you own your own business, you definitely need a vacation, but owning a business is difficult, and you are going to have ebbs and flows in your business. And you have to be able to ride them out. You have to be able to deal with those low times just as well as you deal with the high times. And I think, first of all, for you, Dave, you have to understand that, again, you're not alone. And that in and of itself can be helpful to know that there are other people out there who are experiencing the same emotions that you have, the same fear and anxiety. Now the one thing that concerns me is that you don't want to go to work anymore. You have to look at it differently when you own your own business. You have to say to yourself, I get to go to work today. I get to do this. I get to make my gym better. I get to see what sort of marketing plans I can put in place. I get to see what kind of new members walk in the gym today. I get to see what sort of new trainers or programs I can bring in to build buzz and excitement. It has to be an I get to as opposed to I have to. So you have to change your focus, all right? That's really important. Don't focus on the I have to. Focus on the I get to. You own a business, and you are super, super fortunate because you control your destiny. You don't have a boss or a manager telling you to do something. Remember that movie Office Space where the guy Peter is constantly being berated because he didn't put a cover sheet on his TPS report? Think about that. Think about sitting in your cubicle and being told by 5 different bosses that you didn't put the cover sheet on your TPS report. You're fortunate. And I know that it doesn't always seem that way. It actually can get very scary, lonely, and frustrating. And lonely is something that entrepreneurs experience all the time. You are the one holding the bag. It's your responsibility. But if you shift your focus from the I have to the I get to, you're going to find yourself being a little more excited on a daily basis. Here's how I would look at it if I were you, Dave. Every single day is a brand new opportunity for you to make your business better. You can come up with new marketing, new advertising, and we're not talking about a ton of money. It takes just you, an investment that you make in you and your business. It takes your time and your focus. If you're constantly focused on the negative, you are not going to be able to pull yourself together to get to that positive, I get to do this stage. Every morning when you wake up, just think about what possibilities you have today. Think about how you could create some major buzz, social media-wise, or on videos. Think about the things you could do. Think about the people that you could bring into the gym, maybe to do some training and to shoot some videos and put it out there on the internet and get people excited to come to your gym. That should motivate you. That's exciting because you have great ideas. You started the gym. You have ideas. You have the ability to get people excited. You have to be excited first. You're never going to be able to win people over or bring them into your business when you yourself aren't excited about it. Does that make sense? If you're not all jazzed and ready to go, how do you think other people are going to feel? They're going to be like, oh, this gym, it's okay, low energy, not my favorite. You have to change how you are, and that's going to help other people feel the same way that you do. Now, I understand about losing members or feeling like you're losing members to the large chain health clubs. Look, unless you are at the absolute top in any field, you are always going to have larger competitors who have more money, more resources, more political pull, whatever it might be. You're never going to be top dog. I mean, even companies like Microsoft and Apple, they're constantly in a battle, and they're constantly trying to one-up the other. And so for 1 year, maybe it's Apple, and the next year it's Microsoft. My point being that you have to accept and welcome what you are, who you are, what your business is about. If you're a small business, embrace it. Be excited by it. Be the best small business that you can be. Offer as much as you can. Do it better than other people. Okay? You're never going to be able to stop the Planet Fitnesses or, the Golds or, any of the other big name gyms. You're just not. Okay? Because they're too big with too much money. But that doesn't mean that you can't be one of the best gyms in Orlando. You could be one of the best gyms in the area. And you've got a great area. Orlando is a great place to own a gym. The WWE training facility is nearby. You've got a lot of potential there that you should be excited about. Go out and try to get some people to come into the gym. Do some autograph signings. Maybe do some training. Get people excited to be at your gym. All right? So these are some ideas that hopefully will motivate you. But you know what? Nobody can motivate you but you. You can listen to all the self-help and positive tapes that you want. If you don't take the advice that you're hearing, if you don't take what you are seeing and convert it into an internal motivation, an internal energy, you're wasting your time. Because somebody could tell you the same thing over and over and over again. Somebody could fill you with motivational ideas. If you turn a deaf ear to it and you don't accept it, what's the point? So it starts with you. Don't give in to fear, okay? You know what fear is? And I love this quote. I was with my son, I guess it was last weekend, and he was taking swimming lessons. And he was up on the diving board. and he just couldn't do it. His legs were shaking. He was so afraid. And he got down off the diving board, and this gentleman walked up to me and he said, "Is this your son?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Do you mind if I speak with him for a second?" And I said, "Sure." He said to me, "I'm a teacher at the local school and an administrator, and I've been watching him. I just want to tell him something." So he says to my son, "Listen, do you know what fear is? Because I could see you were afraid." And my son says, "Yes, I was afraid." He says, "Well, here's what fear is. Fear is false evidence appearing real." And, I've heard it before. I've heard that before. And if you search it up on the internet, you're going to be able to find it out there. But for some reason, when he said that, it was like my mind was blown. It sunk in. I was like, wow. Yes, it makes sense. And even though I've heard that acronym before, now I'm feeling it. And I want you to think about that, because I am sure that part of your frustration, part of your anxiety, part of your mental state right now, okay, because you mentioned about losing people to large gyms. I bet you that you've got fear, because we all do. As business owners, we all do. When's the next client going to come in? When's the next paycheck going to come in? I know how you feel. But think about this idea of fear. False evidence appearing real. It's only what you make of it. So when you go to work tomorrow and you feel as though there's less members, there's less people in your gym, it doesn't mean anything. That is false evidence appearing real. It doesn't mean you're failing. What it means is that you have time to come up with some ideas to drive business into your gym, to get people excited. That's what it means, okay? And I really think that it was just, for some reason, it hit me so hard when he said that to me, because I think we all as entrepreneurs feel some level of fear. How do we make payroll? How do we, generate business 6, 7, 8 months from now? What's the forecast for the next 5 years? I get it. And when you're a new business, I'm sure you've got some of this trepidation and you're thinking to yourself, was this a good decision? Did I leave a job where I was getting a steady paycheck to do this, and am I going to fail? Look, you don't need to focus on failure. We know the possibilities. We know success versus failure. You don't need to dwell on that. As a matter of fact, dwelling on it only pulls your mind's eye away from where it should be focused, which is on making things better, living your dream, building something that nobody else has because it came from you. So that is what you should be focused on. That's how you should stay motivated, because you can take tomorrow and make tomorrow the start of a brand new gym, brand new clientele, brand new feeling and ideas. So you should be excited about it, because you can do it. You've been in this now 8 months. That's a huge success. Don't be so hard on yourself. Acknowledge where maybe there are issues that you need to address. Maybe there is new equipment that you need. Maybe there's something that some competitors are doing that you can learn from. There's nothing wrong with that. See what some of your clients are saying. Poll them. Ask them. Ask for a customer feedback survey. What do they like? What do they not like? What would they like to see? Put the old suggestion box up there somewhere, but make it fresh and get people to actually put a suggestion in. Find out what you're doing right, find out what you're doing wrong, or what you can be doing better, and stay focused on every day doing something new, something fresh, something that's going to change your business and your life. And don't give in to fear. Don't give in to depression. It is nothing more than what you focus on. You don't need, unless you've got a medical condition, you don't need to be depressed. You don't need to be sad. You don't need to be handicapped by fear. You control your destiny. You control your focus. And you can do this. So that's my advice to you, Dave. I really hope that this means something and sinks in and maybe just flips a switch some way, because I don't want to see you give up. I don't want to see you start to hate what you do. Make it something fresh and new. Find ways to excite yourself about what you're doing. Think of all the possibilities. You know, we touched on a few of them, but there's a ton of possibilities for you. New training programs, new people, supplement sponsorships, all sorts of things that you can do. And I really hope that you succeed, and I hope that you do not give up, because that's the worst thing that you can do. There is no failure. It's learning experiences that you take and mold into positive results. All right, that is going to do it for today. I want to thank you, Dave, for submitting your question, and of course you'll be receiving a free UTL radio mug, and I greatly appreciate it, and greatly appreciate you taking the time to be a member of the UTL radio family. I want to remind everybody out there to make sure that you check out utlradio.com on a regular basis. We have a ton of fresh new content up. There is a link for a free download, the top 10 legal writing tips for non-lawyers. Super, super important download. It's free. Just type in your email address and you'll get the download immediately. It gives you the top 10 things that you need to do when you're writing a legal letter, whether you're writing to a nasty neighbor who parks partially in your driveway, or you're writing to a judge, or whoever you're writing to. Legal writing is different than traditional business writing, and it's something that you can learn to do. Absolutely, you can learn to do it. You just need a little guidance, and that's what our report on our website, utlradio.com, is for, to give you that guidance. Also, remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you're notified when new videos like this are published. And please share this with your friends, families, and colleagues. Let them know about utlradio.com. Let them experience what we do here and see what great information and great advice that we're learning from other entrepreneurs on our Understanding Business show, and from the questions that our UTL Radio family submit. Let them know so that they can be part of it and experience it as well. I want to thank every single one of you for tuning in today, for subscribing, for leaving feedback and comments. I read every comment and I respond to every comment. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of the kind words and all of the things that you have posted about this show, and just know that it means so much to me to know that I'm helping make your lives a little bit better, making your business a little bit better, and I appreciate it truly. So thank you. Before we go, I just want to thank again our sponsor, mdsupplies.com. Check them out for all of your medical supply needs, mdsupplies.com. That's going to do it for today. Thanks again. Make sure you check the free app available on iTunes and the Android market. There's links on utlradio.com because it contains a whole host of information, including the ability to ask a question directly through your app, but it has the calendar of events and upcoming interviews, shows, and guests. So check that out. That is available for free from the Android market and the iTunes App Store. All right, that's going to do it. I will see you next time, and until then, remember that there's power in understanding the law.